Hey everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. We're going to do a couple more foundation pages. I'm just getting settled, so give me a second here. We're gonna do the two that we talked about the other day about how I wanted to do a tree and then it turned from one thing to another thing. That's my plan today. So I'm not sure which one I wanted to start on, but maybe we'll do, you know what? I think we're going to do that one first because I still am trying to think about that one. So here's the one where my plan is to use this gorgeous paper and we're going to cut some slits and then use this as, they're going to slide out and they're going to be attached to all these cool little pieces. Now, first thing is we need to cut this to the size of a page protector. So let's do that. Oh, there was one right on my desk. Seriously, Christy. And the decision, which color do we like? Do we want to go this way? I'm thinking this, well, let's look. That's gonna get us from the dark to the yellow, like that. Or if we do it this way, it's gonna go from the green to the pink. And then my other question is, if I slide this in here, this one will have to start. If we start this one on the green, the yellow, you have to be strategic about where these get. Once I have the base one started, like then it doesn't really matter because we can go 1, 2, because these are all going to slide under. They're not going to be seen. So that part's okay. We just have to make sure we do it equally between them. And then if we did that, looked like it was 3. So I guess we would do 1, 2, 3, and then 2, and then 1. So if I can make the 1 fit on that green, okay, so that's okay. Can we do it that way? It is important. I know it's hard because everyone, we just want to get going and we want to do things, but it is always important to have a look. Like this one, I could fit at that blue. So if I put the slice here, that would fit that one. And then I like the idea of it then being like 2. So 1 and 2. And then we would do it on, I guess, the pink line, right? Because that's going to be the green. So it's that pink or yellow line. I guess it depends on how many of these I want to do. We could do 2 there. If I slide it, maybe 3. But you run into that whole punch, so you have to be careful. And then we'd be doing this blue. So 1, 2. And then the green. And then the pink. Okay. I feel like I can make it work either way. I do think maybe this way is a little bit. I do feel like maybe this way because I could start it at the yellow. Okay, this is hard, guys. We can start it at the pink. Okay, I'm not going to cut it yet. I have to look. So why don't I start by getting this cut out so we can really get these measured and to see what the size is. And then I can decide. I don't know that it actually matters. It's just that triangle is just ever so slightly bigger than that one. So let me get these cut out and then we'll make that decision. Oh, I'm shaking all that. Sorry. Okay, you guys. I have learned it doesn't matter. It's fine. Either way, it's going to work. So I line them up and you can see that as long as I am very strategic about where this first one is placed and then do 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. So that'll work perfectly. So I can do it that way or this way. I just need to, it doesn't matter. I just need to cut. So, okay, perfect. So we know that we're good. I'm going to take those off. What do we think? Green, green, dark, red, pink, yellow to red to pink, or dark to bright. I think I like it this way. Okay, nope, I've just made my decision. I looked, this makes me happy. Let's do this. Just do it. Just do it. Don't think. It really doesn't have to be that complicated. I don't know why I like to make things so complicated. Okay, perfect. The other thing I would suggest doing if you wanted to do this idea as well is make your holes now, because otherwise you're not gonna know when you start to make your pockets. So we're gonna pocket. I always just use the page protectors because you know they're gonna be right. I know you can buy like hole punches that can do all 3 or 6 at the same time, but I am perfectly fine to punch my own holes. Okay, ta-da! This part is done. So here is what we have to do next. I did leave this thinking if I decide to use this maybe on another, I don't know, another thing. So I saved this part. I'm gonna put that to the side so I don't even look at it to try to tell myself I need other colors. So I have exactly what I need to make this work. And the trick is to make sure that I've got this lined up here. So my first slice, once I get this now adhered onto my tag, my first slice is going to be on this line. So I'm going to cut right in, but before the gold foil, and that's going to be where it slides in, and then my tape, when I get to the back side, is going to go here, here, and here to make my pocket. It should work. We're going to see what happens. I have to really be, and I'm going to share all of this with you. But then when I go to my next one, well, it's going to be fine, except for when I go to do, like this one would be okay. This one will be okay. And this one will be okay. Because this is going, I have to be strategic in the fact that we have to think about the fact that in the back, these are going to be hanging out like this, back to back to back. But if you're trying to make a pocket and have it stop, you can't put tape where you would put this tape to stop here. I'm hoping, because the fact that this is being folded over, that's not going to make a huge difference. As long as I can make it so that when I'm cutting like the longer ones that are going to have the multiple bits, as long as I can have a little break between them so that they've got a place to slide in and they don't all slide to the bottom. Okay, so that's the only thing I have to be super strategic about. So let's get to the next part. I had already pre-folded these. They're fine. They're great. They would absolutely work. However, that was kind of just an idea. I was trying to get a sampling of what my plan was. So I would like to, if I have enough, hopefully I have enough, make them a little cleaner with my fold and stuff. So I'm folding right on the line. And let's see. Like, yeah, this works this fits perfectly in that. So I'm wondering, does it fit perfectly if we fold it on the line? No, it needs more, which is okay. I can make that work. But if we fold it and glue it to that line and then cut accordingly, because it's not gonna matter. I'm just wondering if I'm gonna like leave this spot so I can like, I don't know what the story is gonna be. So do I like leave this spot so that I can put like the date or whatever, and then have the journaling and the photo be like this December detail thing be in the back? That could be an idea. Or because otherwise you're covering it completely. Well, let's give it a try. Let's try it with one of these. Do I have one that's not? I don't have one that's shorter. That's okay. I'm gonna cut it shorter in the fact that like, so it matches this. Because we're gonna have to get those to match like that. And then I'm gonna have to make my tags look like they line up too, right? Okay. So it would be like that. And then it would have to fold. It would have to fold a little bit higher up on that one. That'll be okay. See, I'm wondering because like if, see the idea of it being like this, so it's gonna say December, like documenting life this December, bring on the stories, but then it's saying December detail on that side too, where I think if it said December detail on the side with the photo or whatever, or vice versa, like maybe this will have the photo with the date and the journaling will be on this side. At least there'll be a little bit of something there. And I could, again, I don't necessarily need the bulk of it, but I could do a pattern or something up there. I think I like that. I think I like that idea. So, okay, so I'm only going to do one of these with you on camera, and then we can, you'll get the idea and can do the rest of them on your own so that you're not watching me do a million of these. This video is probably already like forever long, but that's okay. So this fits perfectly in there. We just want to make sure we have December like so. Okay. What are these, 2? Maybe just slightly more than 2. Okay. Cut like that. And then I'm going to cut it again. I'm really excited about this idea. I think it's going to be fun. I was debating over and over what I was going to do with this beautiful piece of pattern paper. Like, how do you use this and make it a highlight without it being like too much, because you could go way out on this paper, I'm sure. And I think this is a great option. So I'm hoping it turns out. Okay, perfect. So there's that. That's gonna go like this. Yep. And there's gonna be the stamp there. And so we need to turn them into a tag first. Like I'll get them all turned into a tag, hopefully at the same time. So it's the crease part now. I don't want to use this to make the bend, because my blade is pretty sharp, but I will use some blunt scissors here. Okay, there. Hopefully that works. Watch me have done that too much. No, I think that worked well. Okay, perfect. So it'll be like that. I'm going to fold it right on that line. Yep, I'm going to fold it right on that line. This is going to get put onto the back, and then we're going to be able to cut it. I'm not going to cut these until I have them all adhered and sorted out. Perfect. I love it. And then that's going to go, this one's going to line up so that it goes here with the cut, which we'll do next, the cut on this pink line. And there's just going to say a bunch of this document December on that, and then you're going to pull it out. Okay, perfect. Let me get going on that and I'll be back. Okay, I got that part done. I love, this is making me really happy. So I just simply, you know, fold it. I still haven't done the tag part. I'm debating if I'm even going to do it or not. So I didn't want to do one, decide I didn't like it, and then not do it, because I can always do that at the end. So I also had to remember and think about, so thankfully I caught it beforehand, and I've only taped it with washi tape so these can come off. Thinking if I need to write, I'm going to want to actually write and not mark up these papers because they're both pretty thin. But we're gonna, for example, it's gonna go here. And I'm thinking like, well, when it slides out, you're gonna want to be able to see it and it not be backwards. So I did make sure that they're both facing the same way. So I caught that. And now we're gonna have to start doing the slit idea that we gotta do next. So we're gonna line them up. I don't know, I think I have 2 of each color basically. I think I have 1 of this one, so maybe we'll make this one the one. Shoop, right there. And I've got 4 green, 2 pink, 2 blue, 2 red, 2 yellow. So I don't really think it matters, but that's what I've got. So next up we'll do, let's see, let's do, I think it was 2, right? On this green. So it's gonna be 1, 2, is it 2 or is it 3? It might be 2. I can't remember how I figured this out. Or is it this one? Because then it would be 2 like that. Fold it up on that line. And that's just 2. So this would be 2, 1, 2, 3, and then 3, woo, and then 3, and 2, yep. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. I think that's right. That looks right to me. Okay, so now I have to start planning. My cat is about to jump up and shake everything. Just be prepared. He's trying to decide how he's gonna make it work. Oh. Are you gonna try it, Dozy? I don't think you're gonna make it, buddy. Okay. So I will do a little bit of measuring. I'm gonna do the first one. We know we want the pink, so that's gonna be the first measure, which means I need to make sure I can fit. Oh, there's my cat. Hi. I'm trying to film. They don't want to see your hair. Yeah, they don't want to see you. Okay, sorry. Let's see here. So, first things first, I want this to slide in here. So, I'm going to just use some washi tape to guide where I want this cut to be on this one. So I'm gonna line it up to be here. And I'm gonna line it up to be here, because that's where I'm going to put the tape as well, right? So I'm going to go just slightly over these lines and then it'll slide in. And so you'll be able to see it. I'm going to do the 1. And then, like I said, I'll do more off camera so you're not watching. But you're gonna line it up where you're gonna see the gold, because I think my idea is to see the gold. Okay, there we go. And I'm just gonna slice. Did I get into the washi? I did. Perfect, from washi to washi. That's the trick. And then the other part is gonna be when, so this is gonna slide in here like this. I've made this one a little bit bigger than it needs to be, so that's okay. I can tape it on the back. That's not a big deal. I needed to try it first, right? So we've got that. And that will be perfect. So then on the back, we're going to watch where this circle is. Maybe slide this way, because again, we don't want to mess with the holes. And we're going to be strategic about, there's a couple things we could do. I can put some washi tape here so that my cuts aren't quite so deep. But just for this one, I'm gonna put my tape here and here. I do not think, again, I think I was telling you guys, because the fact that these are all going to be hanging with the flaps, I don't know that creating the physical pocket is gonna be as necessary as it would be in a separate situation, because it's not really gonna, I don't think it's gonna really go anywhere. So there we go. Okay, so that's the first one. And then we're gonna line up the second one. And this is going to be, so if I did, you can do it every two. It's up to you and the aesthetic you like. So if I did it every two, I'd have two here. I'd be able to have two. So what is it? 2, 3, 3, 2, and 1. I think that was correct. So I'm just gonna grab, I think that one's pink. So we're gonna grab the red, a green, and a yellow. Actually, we're gonna do a green. It really isn't gonna matter. Okay, so those are gonna be the two. And so what I'm gonna do is put my washi tape. I'm gonna put my washi tape here, here, and here. And I'm going to make sure that when I'm trimming, I leave a gap so that these can slide in and they're not gonna bump next to each other. Remember we talked about that? So and whatever you're gonna use to cut, it doesn't matter. It's whatever you're using for your lines. Use a pencil if that's easier for you. It really is gonna be up to you, your style, what you wanna do. I need to make sure this is lined up so that it's not gonna come off the edge. I also, thinking right this minute, the fact that I need to be able to adhere this down some way, so I need it to be a little bit closer. There we go, that'll work. So there's that piece of washi. And let's do the same on this side, knowing that it needs to be able to be on there. So at least a stitch or something, right? Has to be able to go there. Perfect. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to mark these. I'm going to cut this in half and see what happens. If I put that like that, does that give me a stop? Yes. Yes, it does. So if when I go to cut this, as long as I stop right at this washi tape, it'll have that break that we need so that it won't, this one won't slide into that one. Okay, so I'm gonna just keep going down, and I'm choosing to go every 2 down so that it matches up, and I'll be back in a minute so you can see it, and we'll figure out how the back is going to look, and if there's anything we need to do to the back of it besides knowing we're going to probably have a photo or another piece of cardstock or something and stitch so that all of these are going to be free to move in and out of their little pockets. All right, I'm gonna get going. All right, you guys, I did it. I think this is so cute. It's fun. I am still debating about if I'm going to add the turn them into tags or not. I haven't quite decided that. I'm really having fun playing with it, but let's flip it over so you can see what it looks like. I did one boo-boo where I accidentally cut the wrong one in, and I'm like, this isn't fitting, and then I realized why. So I just used some washi tape to just tape it back, and it'll be fine. It's not a big deal. So everything fits. The answer to the tape, adding the tape, is don't do it. So I added a couple pieces here. It's okay. I'm going to just peel it off and stick some washi on it so that this doesn't get stuck to it. It's secure. They're not going anywhere. Like, they're gonna come out just fine. They're gonna go in just fine, but they don't need their own individual pockets, and it wouldn't work anyways because you would have ended up with them getting stuck. So having it folded like this absolutely works just fine, and I don't think they're gonna slide out either. Like, the other thing is, being in an album, are they gonna fall out? I don't think so. I did a close enough cut with my trimmer to make sure that there's room for them to move out, but not enough room to be too much. So I really love it. I'm gonna go with a paper. I don't know that yet, so I won't do it until I have my story and what's gonna be on the back of it. But I'm gonna stitch so that it's got it's secure. So that I'll do that. That'll look great. And then you absolutely could do this in a different orientation. Like, if you didn't want them to go up and instead you were worried maybe about them falling out, you could flip it and have them pull up like this. And then even if you did that, you could even secure them so that, like, they don't actually come all the way out if you wanted. There's lots of different ways you can make that work. This may work really well if you, like I said, are worried about them falling out. I'm okay with it. I kind of like the look of it. And of course, I've already done all the work, so I'm not about to redo it. But if you want it to be oriented on the left-hand side versus the right-hand side, you are going to want them to pull up, because otherwise you're going to run into the holes punch and the rings of the binder, which is why on mine I didn't have them do that, because if you started to pull up, you're going to butt up against the binders. But if you're pulling out, it'll work fine. So again, if you're going to do this idea, just be aware, like, try and think of where you want this to go in your album. And if you're going to want to have it be left orientation or right orientation, and then that will tell you if you're going to be pulling down or up. Okay, so this part is done. We've got that. A little idea just before I wrap up, because I'm not going to do the other one today. I think I've done enough talking for today. Is a couple things you can do. One is, if you have the main kit or any kit, anything of anything, if you don't mind the bulk of these stars, you could have these ones are a little too big, but you could have stars. I was thinking maybe these awesome little gold stars, you could put one and staple it onto each one of them. I thought that might be cute, especially, again, other orientation where you're pulling up. That would work well. I think that might be fun. So there's an idea. I'm afraid to open this up and it may be too loud for you. The other thing is there's not really anything else to do on this page, right? Like, I can't like put a title right here or anything, because these all have to move in and out. And so I thought maybe while I was stitching, depending on what I decide, there's a few little things that came in the kit. I feel like if you do it, again, you just have to be strategic about which one you're using, where it's going. I think this one would work. Yep, I think I could make the Mary work. So I could stitch it on, and then these would still be able to pull out. So that's an option. There's also some smaller words that I thought like maybe you might be able to get, maybe you, I don't know. There's always things you can do to make. I think this one would work too. If you're more strategic too and you think about it, you can make room to add one of these cool little words to yours as well. This one would have to be up here if I wanted to do magic. I can make it work though. Magic fit right like that. And then my number could go here. So like magic day number, whatever, who knows. There's also Christmas would definitely work because it's all, it's small, so it would look good, but that one would work. Whatever have you, whatever you want to do. And there is enough room at either the top or the bottom where you could add one of these little strips. So you could have a little title there if you want. Because I have to figure out where I'm putting my number. I might cover one of these up and make my number there. And remember, this is just super cheap paper from that pack. So I can, if I so choose, cover them up and only have a couple of them say, you know, documenting life December. I can do whatever when the day comes and when I decide what my story is going to be and what I need to tell a bunch of little stories. There's 12 in total of them. So if I have 12 little stories or 12 little photos, I can figure it out from there. But I just wanted to give you a couple ideas on what you could do for decorating, quote unquote, and finishing it up. Or just be strategic about it again when you're picking your paper. Maybe just use white cardstock so you have the ability to use whatever. You could have little photos on the top here that pull out, and then just journaling. Like there's all sorts of different ideas you could do with this idea. And it doesn't have to be this rainbow paper either. Any paper that has a diagonal, you can figure it out and do your math and see how many spaces you want them to be apart and go from there. So anyways, thanks so much for hanging out with me today and following along. This was definitely a who knows that this is going to turn out type situation, but it did, and I really love how it did turn out. So yeah, I'll see you guys all again soon. Bye everyone.